We have part three of video lecture number three. Sorry about that. So basically, we left off about service to the wider world. She was talking about that. Do you look at your college education as a way to make money or to help your family, or do you look at it as service to help others? She argues that we should think about basically servicing others or helping others as one of the key elements of our education or one of the results. But what do you think about that? Again, yeah, you don't really have to agree with what she says, or maybe you may have some of your own thoughts, but the idea is to think critically about your college education. So basically, take a look at that speech, and then basically the assignment will have you basically everyone will have to do part B, basically, which is one at least one type page, and you're going to summarize what exactly she's saying. I would actually recommend that you try to give what you see as her thesis statement. Which what is her thesis statement? Is basically what is her general idea that she's talking about, her general topic that she's talking about for the whole speech. And then what is she trying to assert, or what is her opinion about that topic? So that's her general thesis statement. And then you also want to give her main points. Main points are like little topics or little elements of or little general ideas that she uses to support her thesis statements. These are general ideas, but not quite specific examples. So maybe you might look at some of the key words like conversation, sometime, spark, kindled, and then henceforth nourish itself. And then maybe some of the ideas about um, academic freedom and helping others might be main points. And then you can give one or two examples under each main points. Examples are basically a little bit more specific than general ideas. General ideas are your main points. Look at main points as your general ideas that support the thesis statement, and then your examples are little details that support uh, the main points. Okay, so you may want to give one or two examples for each main point. So the idea of summarizing is basically state what she's saying without giving your own opinion first. Restate what she's saying. Try to put in your own words, but still keep her ideas. So you basically don't want to just copy what she says. Try to put what she's saying in your own words, but keep her ideas. And this basically restate her thesis statement, restate what all her main points are, all her main points, not just the ones you want to talk about. It's basically all the main points she gives in her speech, and then one or two examples under each main points. Just restate that, and then give your reaction in part B to what do you think about her assertion about the essence of college education. Do you agree, disagree, are in total agreement, or do you have some mixed thoughts about that? So you want to give your reaction, your summary, and then your reaction in part B. That's what's called summarizing text. You basically want to just objectively restate what she's saying in your own words, but keeping her ideas without giving your opinion, and then giving a critical response or critically responding is the second part of part B for you to react to. What do you think about what she's saying? And then you basically your remaining one page that you had to do is basically choosing any two from part A in the assignment, and then part C through H. So you can just pick any two things that interest you, any two questions that interest you about her speech, and then react to that. Like, what do you think? Do you know of any classmates who refuse that spark in education? What do you refuse a spark? What do you actually do to keep this spark and help inspire classmates about the spark? That's one question. Or do you view essays, do you view those as conversations too? They're obviously a different type of conversation, but they may have disadvantages or advantages too. But think about other modes of conversation, especially in our world of social media. There are many ways that we can converse, from Facebook, Instagram to human face-to-face interactions, but we also have those social media or internet type discussions. So think about all the ways we communicate too, and just what do you think about that? Can we have academic conversations, just talking to each other, talking to teachers in the classroom, in the dormitories, at home with our parents as we learn, with our friends as we go through college? Think about those academic conversations. You'll have a chance to have those academic conversations with your classmates when we actually get into small groups and also the large group projects too. And then we'll also have a chance. You'll have a chance to present your findings to me, and then I can discuss them with you also too. So that speech is just one way to talk about the importance of academic conversations. We write essays in this class, obviously, but there's also discussions that also carry weight. And maybe you prefer discussing things too. But then, of course, there's a lot of benefits to writing essays too, and that's like a conversation too. It might be one way, but then you get feedback in your essays too, or people read your essays. And you also may get feedback in different ways from a human conversation. But conversations have their pluses and minuses, just depends on what type of conversations there are out there, and they all have their advantages and disadvantages. So that assignment is just a way to get you going, thinking about how we converse in class is very important. And it may be sort of tough too for those of you, right? If you're sort of a person who's a loner or shy, you may want to talk to your classmates, but it's really important to really overcome your shyness in a way to interact with your classmates, because even the most brilliant person can say, hey, I'm a great mathematician. I don't really need my classmates. But can that person still learn from other people? Will that person have to work with other people at work? What do you think, right? What happens? Okay, you may be a shy person, but what happens in a world of work when you're actually forced to interact or teach your coworkers, or teach the people that you manage, right? Or basically talk to your manager, or basically talk to people in other organizations or other specialties in your workplace. What do you actually think about that? So basically, conversations are very important, and work is also very important. But she's just trying to tell you that, hey, one of the essences of conversations of college, I mean, is to have those academic conversations. So that's just one thing to think about. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and work on an assignment. It won't be due until next week, I think Tuesday at midnight. But go ahead and work on that, and just one way to sort of reflect on your college education early in your career on that. So okay, so I'll go ahead and see you with the next lecture, and just basically just call, text, or email me with any questions you have whenever, anytime, and I'll be happy to try to talk to you and try to clarify. Thanks. Looking forward to seeing your work and talking to you in the future. Bye.